What's up, comic fam? Welcome to my brand new series titled Comic Book Report Card, where I give these books that I'm picking up and reading every week. I give them the grade. I let you guys know whether or not they're worth picking up, whether or not they're worth spending your hard-earned money on. So check it out. We're doing about 12 books each week, provided I pick up that many books. Most weeks I do. So we're going to find out a lot about a lot of different books. I created a grading scale that I'm going to use every week. I'm going to put it up here on the screen so you can check it out. 94 through 100 is going to be it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be an amazing book. It's going to get the A grade. 85 through 93, that is going to be amazing. That's going to get a B. Definitely worth picking up. 75 through 84, that is going to be a good book, a good solid book. It gets a C grade. A D grade is a definite pass. You're not going to want to pick this book up. That's a 65 through 74. And an F, obviously 0. Anywhere from 64 down to 0 is an F, and it's a definite, you're not going to want to waste your hard-earned money on this. So with all that being said, and you've seen my grade scale, we're going to start the first episode of my new series, guys. And thank you guys for checking it out. We're going to do 12 books total this week. I don't know how many books I'll end up doing each week. I guess it will vary on how big the comic haul or the new comic book day week is. It's just going to vary. I'll try to do 10 to 12 books each episode, though. We'll try to run through quite a bit of books from Image, Marvel, DC, and so on. But I'll quit blabbing, and I'll go ahead and start with the first book for this new series, Comic Book Report Cards. The very first book we're going to go to is Sam and Twitch. Now, this is Sam and Twitch Case Files, Issue 1. I picked up the cover B McFarlane. This is written by Todd McFarlane. It's on Image Comics, the imprint Image Comics. Interior art by Simon Kudronsky. Cover art, like I said, by Todd McFarlane. Sam and Twitch get suspended. And while they are on suspension, Sam creates a little bit of trouble for the two. And Twitch doesn't do much good with keeping his mouth shut. They both end up getting suspended for a month from their job. In the meanwhile, Twitch gets a call from one of his friends, and he's on the scene of a crime. And when they get there, it's a crazy, grisly scene that they walk onto, and definite Dexter vibes. It really caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting much from the Sam and Twitch series, but it was very good. It was a very good opening issue. Thought McFarlane did a good job writing. The interior art was fantastic. I love the interior art. Really did a lot for the story. And you don't need to know a whole lot about Sam and Twitch going into this book. You don't need to know anything. You'll be just fine picking this up, having no knowledge of the two. And if you're into detective stories, I would say pick it up. Give it a try. It's only $2.99. So it's one of these Spawn books. So it's only got the $2.99 price tag. So it's a definite safe pickup. Give it a try. $2.99. Sam and Twitch Case Files, Image Comics. I'm giving this one a solid B. I'm going to give it a grade of an 88. That's going to land right in the mid-range for the B. So this gets a grade of a B and an 88. So great start. We're off to a great start. Moving on to the next book. Now, the next book we're going to talk about is Zoro Man of the Dead, and we are up to issue 3. This is the cover B by Ryan Sook. This series is written by Sean Gordon Murphy with art from Sean Gordon Murphy, and it's on Massive Publishing. So I didn't know anything about Zoro going into this series, and picked up issue 1. It's been a really good title so far. You don't need to know anything about Zoro going into this. It is a completely original story. You have this cartel led by this man named El Rojo, and El Rojo takes over this village, and these people are very oppressed, and they're very down and living in the slums, and just living in oppression for a long time. And this brother and sister, their family's murdered, and they're taking care of each other. And the brother, he claims to I'm not explaining it the best, but he claims to be sort of possessed, taken over by the spirit of Zoro, and starts taking on the alias. And people around think that he's mental. They think that he's lost it in the head. But this guy's seriously kicking ass. He starts training. He has all the knowledge of the legend Zoro, and slowly starts winning these people over. He meets up with this El Cementerio guy, and they're sort of forming an alliance and building up a little bit of a team to take on this cartel, and building getting the people in the village and building a little bit of a revolution. And I'm probably not explaining this the best. This is a really good story, though. I knew that Sean Gordon Murphy was a good writer. I knew that he had done well on a Batman, I think, White Knight title and some other stuff. So I knew who he was, and I knew he was a good writer. So I thought it was a pretty safe bet. If I wanted to try Zoro, I thought that this would be a pretty good one to jump in on. And it was. This has been good. We're on issue 3 now. It continues to be good. If you want to try out a Zoro book, see if you can find issue 1 and 2, or wait for the trade. But this is Zoro Man of the Dead. I'm going to give this an 84. That lands in the C+. So another good book, an 84. That's a good score. So that's a definite recommend. So C+, 84 for Zoro Man of the Dead. So 2 good books in a row so far. So we are off to a very good start. Let's see what we got with the next. The next title is Feral. It's an Image Comics. It's on the Image Comics imprint, excuse me. This is Feral issue 1. It is written by Tony Fleeks with art by Trish Forstner and Tony Rodriguez. The cover art is by Trish Forstner and Tony Fleeks. This is the A cover. Now, this was a really good opening issue. It's about a group of cats. They're on a trip, and the truck that they're being transported on is involved in a brutal wreck with no human survivors, leaving our cats stranded in the woods filled with mysterious animals who all seem to be infected with some sort of disease, like a stronger version of rabies or something along the lines of that. I love the main characters. We get introduced to Patch, Elsie, and Lord Fluffy Britches, who is my favorite character, sporting a blonde mohawk type mullet haircut. Really cool, awesome characters. In this first issue, they are exposed to rabid foxes and a crazy raccoon. I think it was a great first issue. The art was fantastic, and the story was very cute. It's a must-read for animal lovers, an absolute must-read if you are into cats, if you're a cat lover. And I think it was a strong first issue, and I am going to give it a 92, which is a solid B. So Feral gets a 92, solid B. So we're off to a good start so far. We've had 3 really good books. I actually had the opportunity to talk to Trish on my Comic Book Addicts live stream not too long ago. It was a pleasure. She told us a lot about this book, and I was looking forward to reading it, and I promise this is my best non-biased score that I could give this. But moving on to the next title. We had 3 good books in a row. Let's see what the 4th one is. Title number 4, Amazon's Attack, DC Comics. This is by writer Josie Campbell. Interior art by Vasco Georgiev. Cover art by W. Scott Forbes. And this is a variant cover. I believe this is a cover C. But the story of the Amazons comes to an end in the 6th issue of Amazon's Attack. This follows Nubia, Yara Flor, Mary Marvel, and Faruka. And someone has been setting them up for this whole 6-issue series. And it all comes down to a big face-off in this 6th issue. The series has produced some beautiful cover art. It has been a pretty decent story overall, I would say. Beautiful interior art for sure. The storyline was a bit lackluster to me personally, but the highlight of the series for me was getting to follow Yara Flor, one of my favorite female characters in DC Comics, and getting to follow her story more And if you aren't on this series already, I would probably just say pass. But I thought it was pretty good overall. Not bad. It kept me entertained enough to want to keep picking it up. I am going to give this a score of a 79, and that is a solid C. So this is the lowest grade that we got so far, but still not bad. This is still not a pass. This is good if you're into Yara Flor, Nubia, or any of the Amazons. If you want to see Mary Marvel in action, pick it up. Several good reasons to want to read this book, and the artwork's good as well. But some good books so far. What will the 5th book bring? Can we continue the streak? Is it going to be an all good first comic book report card? Let's see. This is Power Girl, issue 7. And this is on DC Comics, the DC Comics imprint. And this is written by Leah Williams. I'm not sure which of the two. Art by Marguerite Sauvage, with cover art by Sozamika. Beautiful Sozamika cover. And this is, of course, a variant. It's a Women's History Month variant. It's not the main cover, but just a beautiful variant cover for this. This continues the story from issue 6, where Supergirl and Power Girl are in this new universe, stripped of their powers, and it's a fairy tale looking world. They're drawn very cartoony. It really resembles a kid's fairy tale story to me. Most of the story, I was enjoying the earlier issues a little more than this current story. The inner artwork was nice, but didn't save the story for me. Other than grabbing it for this awesome Women's History Month cover, this is a hard pass. So we are not continuing the streak, guys. This is going to receive my very first D. It doesn't get an F, because I do think that it does have some redeeming qualities. I think maybe the younger audience would enjoy this more. There's somebody out there that this story is for, but it's definitely not for me. I'm going to give this a D. This gets a 69, which falls in the D category, in the D grade, according to my scale for this. So we're getting our first D with a 69 for Power Girl 7. Hard pass, y'all. Don't pick this up unless you just want to pick up this beautiful cover. So if you want to pick it up for the cover grab, absolutely go for it. Other than that, don't buy it for the story. Hard pass, guys. Let's see which book we got next. See what we're going to get into next. We have another book from DC Comics. This is Batman Dark Age issue 1. I picked up the Frank Quitely variant cover. So this is not the main cover. This is the Frank Quitely variant. And I thought that was a beautiful cover. This is Batman Dark Age issue 1. Writer Mark Russell. Art by Michael Allred. And like I said, cover by Frank Quitely. In Gotham 2023, Bruce Wayne is a withering old man. Asked to fill a journal with his memories while he still can, he tells us a fantastic and beautifully illustrated story starting back in '57 when he was a child, and how Alfred ended up as his guardian and secret protector. Really brilliant story. It reinterprets the Wayne's murder and Wayne Enterprises. He's set to inherit his family's wealth when he turns 18, if he can live to see it. So we meet a character who I think is Selena Kyle. I believe it's Selena Kyle. So we meet her, and at the end are introduced to a villain by the name of Pariah. So I'm not sure if that's a new villain or if we're getting reintroduced in this story to this villain. This book was absolutely fantastic. One of the best books I read this week. I'm pretty sure it's the best book from DC that I read, for sure. This book was fantastic. One of the best titles of the week. Highly recommend. Overall, highly recommend if you like Batman. Pick this up if you get a chance. I recommend grabbing the Frank Quitely cover, but there are many good covers for this. And actually, the A cover is pretty good. The A cover is done by Michael Allred, the person that did the interior art, which I think is really good. The interior art is actually pretty good in this story. I'm digging it, and I'll show you guys an example of this very quickly. But there's some interior arts. Just kind of flipping through here. Let's see. Let's see if I can find you a good Batman page. Here's the cover. There's the main cover. The Michael Allred A cover. Let's see. There's some Batman panels right here. But I dig it. I like the interior art. I think it's really good. I gave this a 94, which is our highest score so far. That's going to fall in the A category. So this gets a solid A 94. So that's our best read so far. Will this be the read of the week? Stick around and find out. Now, the last book is going to be kind of hard to compete with because that Batman Dark Ages book was really, really good. Daredevil's been pretty good so far. How will it be in issue 7? This is Daredevil's issue 7, Marvel Comics. This is by writer Saladin Ahmed, with art by Aaron Cooter. The cover art by John Romita Jr. This is just the A cover. I hate this cover. I'll be honest with you. The A covers have been horrible, but I've just been picking up the A covers for the series. They've been pretty bad though. Would highly recommend picking up a variant cover for this if you're going to. But anyways, is the story good? That's what really matters. Daredevil is facing his own sins in the form of demons in this story. So he's been fighting demons in the past issues. In his new white costume, which actually debuted in the last issue, in issue 6. He's got this badass new white costume. He faces a possessed Wolverine, and a brutal battle ensues. A super bloody, brutal battle. Despite having a horrible A cover, this issue really brought it this week. Daredevil has been decent so far, but I think it went from decent to really good in this issue, and I hope that it continues to get better. So just hope that this series continues to get better. It really stepped it up in this issue. I'm going to give this a B. I'm going to give it an 87, which is a solid B. So Daredevil 7, stepping it up this issue. I wouldn't have given issues 1 through 6 probably anywhere close to that score. So the fact that Daredevil issue 7 is getting an 87 is a good sign for this series. We just need a better cover artist now. Our next book is Edge of Spider-Verse, issue 2. This has a couple of different stories. One featuring Spooky Man, another new Spider-Verse character. Next up is Edge of Spider-Verse, issue 2. Now this has 2 different stories in it. The one for Spooky Man, which is our first story, is by writer Carr Andrews, with art by Bob Quinn. And this cover is a Mark Brooks headshot variant. It's a cover C Mark Brooks headshot variant. The second story, featuring Cyborg Spider-Man, is by writer Rich Dovick, with art by Edgar Salazar. So, the first story is about this character, Spooky Man. And it's actually somewhat cool character. The whole concept is really good. I love the gloomy artwork. I get what they're trying to do, and it could have been so good. But the writing was incredibly cheesy. He was trying to make these little rhymes and kind of make it gloomy and gothic, but make it rhyme. And I don't know, it just came off incredibly cheesy. Some of the rhymes were really bad. It was awful. I haven't read a book that made me cringe more than this book since the What If story where the What If Miles Morales was Thor, where they used all these just really bad stereotypes with Miles and like had graffiti on Mjolnir and just all this really, really bad like ghetto stereotype stuff with Miles. I have not cringed so much over a comic book since that issue until I read this. I like the concept of Spooky Man. It could have been done really well, and I feel like it almost was. Really mainly just the rhymes that got me, but I liked the characters. I liked the gloomy setting. I loved the interior art. I just did not like the writing. I couldn't get past it. And then with the next story with Cyborg Spider-Man, Cyborg Spider-Man is a character I've been wanting to see again for a long time. So I was super hyped when I found out that we were going to get a story with Cyborg Spider-Man in this book. However, it was horrible. It was a crappy story. We got Cyborg Spider-Man, which was awesome. But he's fighting just another crappy version of the Sinister Six. Just a reject crap version of the Sinister Six. It's like they did in Dark Web, where they had that certain version of Sinister Six. And it's not the first time. We've had many versions, just these little crappy crackhead versions of Sinister Six. And this was another version that Cyborg Spider-Man's facing. Just very uninteresting. You already know what's going to happen. I don't know, just they could have done so much better with having Cyborg Spider-Man. The most exciting part about this was seeing Cyborg Spider-Man interact with Webby, who is the AI computer character that he talks to, who helps him. That was the most entertaining part of the story, seeing Webby. So, I mean, that tells you something. Two stories that had the potential. This could have been a book that would knock your socks off if it was done well. Both characters had potential to really be great, and it just wasn't executed well. This was one of the worst reads of the week, I'm sad to say. I give this a 73, and this is a D, so this is going to be a hard pass. Don't waste your time, unless you're just collecting these Spider-Verse books for spec. If you think Spooky Man is going to be a future character in the Spider-Verse, by all means, grab this. Other than that, hard pass. All right, guys. Moving on, we're getting into some more Marvel Comics with X-Men 97, Issue 1. This is by writer Steve Fox, with interior art by Salva Espin. Cover art by Ben Harvey on this Cover C variant. Had to pick up this beautiful Ben Harvey character cover with Rogue and the Blackbird in the background. Just beautiful cover there. This is a prelude to the new X-Men animated series. This was a fun issue. In this issue, the team rescues Dazzler, and you meet Valerie Cooper, who is the UN liaison on mutant affairs. Jean learns she's pregnant. Storm tries out a new look. Dazzler performs at a concert, and as always in her books, is interrupted by a team of villains, but are thwarted by Rogue, Gambit, and Dazzler. Mr. Sinister is revealed, and at the end, and he gives us a preview of more awesome villains to come for issue 2, including Sabretooth. I think I saw Pyro there, but we're getting some really cool villains coming up in issue 2. So this issue was fun, and it was great. It was a great addition to the overall experience when paired with the animated series currently running on Disney Plus, which is what I did. I watched the first 3 episodes of that new series last night. Then this morning I read the series, and I feel like it went really well with it. So it was awesome. I wish it had some of the magic that the show had. For example, on the show, Jubilee, there was a dance scene where Jubilee's dancing and having a good time, and she starts playing with her powers while she's dancing, almost like it's a part of the dance move. I thought that was incredible. I never would have thought to included that in the show, but the person that came up with that idea is brilliant, and that was just one of the little magic touches that made that show so good. Also with Morph. Morph is absent in this book. There is no Morph in this book. What the hell? You're going to do an animated or an X-Men 97 book. Have the same cast. Why is Morph missing? Why is he not in here? Unless we're getting him later and we just haven't gotten to him. And then, I'll shut up about it. But we did not get Morph in this issue. And to me, a lot of the magic to some of those episodes was also from having Morph do these awesome changes where he's changing into Psylocke in a fight scene, or he's falling from the sky, or a teammate's falling and he turns into Archangel to swoop down and grab him, or turning into Blob so Rogue can run and bounce off his big stomach. Just all these little transformations that he does, and the way that he uses his morphing power is brilliant in that animated series. and he's missing, so you're not getting any of that. So I hope that we get that in the series. I hope that they add that. Really, that could add so much to this. And also the combination, the combo moves. I had forgotten about that. It's been a long time since I saw that animated series. And other than like Colossus picking up Wolverine and like throwing him and doing that attack, I forgot all about the teammates and the way they used combo attacks and the way that they paired up with each other. And like, for example, Gambit charged Wolverine's claws. So Wolverine charged at the Sentinel with charged claws, like charged pink claws. And they combine their two powers. Just the way that the teammates team up and use their powers together in teamwork. And it's brilliant. Another thing I loved about the series, you didn't see that in this book. So that was what I felt like was the magic from the animated series. And none of that was applied to this book. So maybe if they'll apply some of that in issue 2 will be a lot better. However, this was still a good book. I'm not crapping on this book by any means. This is definitely a pickup if you're watching that X-Men series and you liked it, grab this. Definitely grab this. It's a prelude to the story. You get a little sidestep to it, so you're just getting a little bit more that you would be missing. But I'm giving this an 86. That's a B- according to the scale. So really good grade. Definitely pick that up, guys, if you're watching X-Men. Moving on to our next series. This is one I'm kind of, I was a little bit questionable about. So is it going to get a good grade? I'll be honest with you guys. The only reason I ended up reading this was because it had a couple of covers that I wanted to pick up. So Adam Hughes was doing the main cover for this, which is this one. It also had another foil cover that I wanted as well. So, but I figured in picking those up, I would give it a try and see if it was any good, it being in issue 1. So I went ahead and read it. It was written by Celeste Bronfman with interior art by Emilio Larso. And like I said, the cover art for the main cover is Adam Hughes. In this book, Jackpot is on a mission to do some good with her newly acquired power gauntlet. And Black Cat is seemingly on a mission to take down Chance and steal some cash from a casino. Chance is a D-list Spidey villain that we haven't seen in a while. If you are into some old Spider-Man stuff, you may have seen Chance. He first appeared, I think, in the Web of Spider-Man run. But you may know Chance from that. But Jackpot is led to where Black Cat happens to be trying to get away with stolen casino money. And Jackpot catches her. And she lets her keep some of the money if she donated most to charity, which I thought was kind of weird. Heroes don't usually do that type of thing, but I guess because they were friends or whatever. Black Cat is keeping a secret, which is revealed to be that she is being ordered to do things via an app, or her girlfriend will get hurt. Jackpot ends up interfering and getting involved, and because she gets involved, the app begins telling everyone, like everyone around in the city, to attack Jackpot. So she has all these people, all these just masked strangers coming after her with random weapons. And then you find out at the very end of the book that actually Black Cat is given the order to take out Jackpot. So you got the whole city plus Black Cat after Jackpot at the end of this issue. I do want to say the interior art was beautiful. Emilio Larso did an amazing job on the interiors of this book. I do remember telling myself, wow, some of these panels are just amazing, just beautiful. So the interior art really caught my eye. So that was a standout. Let's see. The story is all right, except for one major thing. There was a flaw with Jackpot's power, and this was something that I feel like they're trying to just sweep under the rug, and I don't like it. I don't like that they're doing that. Okay, with Jackpot's gauntlet, she cannot predict what power she's going to get. So she's taking a big chance every time. It's like a jackpot machine. You're taking a chance. There is a chance or used to, when the powers first originated, there was a chance that she could get something negative, like that she could use the power and it would benefit her and she would get a cool power set, but she wanted to keep it extremely limited how many times she used this power, because she could get something bad that could really harm her. Well, in this story, all of a sudden, that doesn't exist anymore. She's just switching through her powers. No, I don't like armor. We're going to switch to portals. And just switching through them like there's no consequences. So they did away with that whole thing with her power. So what's the consequences of what's the jackpot now? She's hitting a jackpot every time. I don't know. That's just something that bothered me. They sort of switching that up. There's no negative effect. And she's just like, like when she first took on the alias, she was kind of hesitant to switch the powers because she didn't know if it was going to end up being something bad. Where now she's like, nah, I don't like this. And just changing it like the channel on the TV. So I just don't like that. I did think that it was good overall. It surprised me. I didn't expect it to be on my good list of books this week. It actually was, though. I gave this an 84, which is a C+ according to my grading scale. So that's great. It's a definite pickup. I would recommend picking it up if you like Black Cat, if you like this new Jackpot character, or if you like Mary Jane. Pick it up. It got a pretty good grade. So, moving on to the next Marvel title. Our second to last book. This one's SpiderPunk, issue 2. We got the second issue of SpiderPunk Arms Race, issue 2. This is Marvel Comics, of course. It is by writer Cody Ziegler with art by Justin Mason. Cover art by Takashi Okazaki. Brilliant A covers by Takashi. Really cool stuff. In issue 2, we continue with Doc Ock coming up with a crazy plan, and then it switches over to the Earth 138 Avengers in the hospital with Riri, who got injured in the last issue. We get some really great gritty fight scenes. They toned down the cheesy lines a little bit. They had all these little, I like the punk rock Easter eggs and stuff that they inserted, and that, like Earth 138 being a Misfits reference, and just all the little punk rock references. I like that. But they were using a lot of like cheesy, cringy lines in some of the past SpiderPunk issues. And they toned that down a little bit in this issue. And so it's a little more realistic the way they talk. It's not quite as out there, quite as cheesy. I like it. So I feel like that's the writing. The writing's gotten a little better. So Cody Ziegler's gotten a little bit better with the writing. And they're facing Otto Octavius when we end the issue. If you want a serious Spider-Man title, this is not going to be for you. If you want a serious Spider-Man title, check out the next book. But this one's probably not going to be for you if you want the serious stuff. If you want something a little edgy and different, and or you have an appreciation for punk rock, or you like the SpiderPunk in general, or just, any of those reasons really are good reasons to pick this up. And I would say definitely check it out. There are plenty of Easter eggs if you are into the Misfits, or if you're into punk rock. They're just kind of littered all through here. So you get a good story, and you get all these little Easter eggs for the punk rock fans. For that reason, I do recommend SpiderPunk. I would give this an 85, which is a B-. So, lots of good grades this week. We've only had 2 really bad books so far. So, let's see if we can end it strong with this last book. I have a good feeling about it. All right, we got the last book on Comic Book Report Card. Will it be a good one? What will the grade be? Let's see. We got Ultimate Spider-Man issue 3, y'all. Marvel Comics, of course. Now, this is written by Jonathan Hickman, with art by Marco Cicchetto, with cover art by Marco Cicchetto and Matthew Wilson on this A cover. This issue was more Fantastic Spider-Man. This was so good, y'all. it just keeps getting better and better and better. Finally, the story we wanted, we're getting. So the story that I've always wanted, I'm getting now. This has been amazing. You got Peter trying on costumes with his daughter, and Ben and Jonah find an old building to start their paper out of. You got this universe's Green Goblin meets the Ultimate Universe's Bullseye, and it does not go too well for Green Goblin at first. He kind of gets his ass handed to him a little bit until Peter Parker jumps in this new Spider-Man costume and kind of helps take him down. Him and Green Goblin team up and are able to take Bullseye down. But he's tough, though, really tough. And Peter accidentally reveals his identity to the Green Goblin, and could have been a really bad situation for Peter. But actually, Green Goblin lets his guard down and reveals his identity to Peter. So, spoilers, revealing he is Harry Osborn. So, and they kind of have like the budding of a friendship brewing, maybe. I don't know. You don't know where it's going to go, but it kind of leads you like they're going to go off together and hang out or something at the end of this issue. It ends really well. This was an awesome story. This continues to be one of the best, if not best, comic out right now. Ultimate Spider-Man and Avengers Twilight. That's my two top comic books right now. This is right there at the top. Continues to be a great story, issue after issue. It's just continuing to build the story and improve. I give this an A+. This gets the best score of the week with a 98, y'all. So a 98. I will never give anything a 100 because I don't think there's ever been a perfect comic book, and I don't think there ever will be. But I think there's close to it. And I think this is a 98 if I've ever seen one. So pick this up, guys. Highly recommend. If you're not in on this Ultimate Universe, get in on it while you still can. There are additional printings out there for each issue now. You should be able to get your hands on issue 1, 2, and 3 at this point. So get in on this if you're not. I appreciate you guys, man, going through these 12 books from New Comic Book Day, March 27th, 2024. I'm going to continue doing these series every week, hopefully saving you guys some money. So you don't have to waste your money on some of these crappy books. Let me do it for you. I appreciate you guys watching. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.